What's up, everybody? Welcome to Lyrics to Go. I'm Daniel Maté. What you're about to watch is a short clip from a recent live stream I did. I do these every Monday night, pretty much. We pick one artist or group or even a single album and just listen in depth, pause, talk about the lyrics, and just get to deepen our appreciation of the lyrical side of things, which is the whole point of this channel. Now, those streams are available to everybody every Monday night. I invite you to come out, check out what we're doing each week. It's always different. If you want to see the entire stream after the fact, that's available to my Patreon subscribers only. And you can become one by going to patreon.com/lyrics2go. There's a whole bunch of other perks as well, including bonus episodes and custom playlists and all kinds of other good stuff. So, hope you'll check that out. And for now, please enjoy this clip. Lyrics to Go. Dad, do you want to read it? Should I read it?
You go ahead. You're a better reader.
Okay. Okay. Well, English is my first language.
Nice to meet, but
It's true. It's true. I have a Hungarian to thank for the fact that English is my first language.
Yeah.
John Brown went off to war to fight on a foreign shore. His mama sure was proud of him. He stood straight and tall in his uniform and all. His mama's face broke out all in a grin. "Oh, son, you look so fine. I'm glad you're a son of mine. You make me proud to know you hold a gun. Do what the captain says. Lots of medals you will get, and we'll put them on the wall when you come home." As that old train pulled out, John's ma began to shout, telling everyone in the neighborhood, "That's my son that's about to go. He's a soldier now, you know." She made well sure her neighbors understood. She got a letter once in a while, and her face broke into a smile, and she showed them to the people from next door, and she bragged about her son with his uniform and gun, and these things you call a good old-fashioned war. Oh, good old-fashioned war. So we can already see like how much of an identity boost, an ego boost his mother's getting from this, like vicariously. Then the letters ceased to come for a long time. They did not come. They ceased to come for about 10 months or more. Then a letter finally came saying, "Go down and meet the train. Your sons are coming home from the war." She smiled and went right down. She looked everywhere around, but she could not see her soldier son in sight. But as all the people passed, she saw her son at last. When she did, she could hardly believe her eyes. Oh, his face was all shut up and his hand was all blown off. I don't even need to read the rest because, actually, let me skip a little bit. I mean, obviously, there's terrible injuries. But he says to her, "Don't you remember, Ma, when I went off to war? You thought it was the best thing I could do. I was on the battleground. You were home acting proud. You wasn't there standing in my shoes. Oh, and I thought when I was there, God, what am I doing here? I'm trying to kill somebody or die trying. But the thing that scared me most, when my enemy came close, and I saw that his face looked just like mine. And I couldn't help but think through the thunder rolling and stink that I was just a puppet in a play, and through the roar and smoke, this string is finally broke, and a cannonball blew my eyes away. As he turned away to walk, his ma was still in shock at seeing the metal brace that helped him stand. But as he turned to go, he called his mother close, and he dropped his medals down into her hand."
yeah, the investment of older generations in the sacrifice of their sons. You know, when they don't really know. They just have no idea. And you know, Ron, I mean, what you said about Afghanistan. I've read so many accounts of that from other American veterans who come back from there. Mm-hmm. Totally, even if they're not traumatized, which many of them are, but just utterly disgusted and dismayed and disillusioned.
Sure.
At the gap between what they were told they were going there for and what they ended up doing.
And I wonder, you know more about trauma, obviously, Dad, than me, than most people do. But when we think about PTSD, I think like the first thing that comes to mind is someone goes to a dangerous place, sees something horrible, experiences something overwhelming, can't process it, and is scarred for life. There must be an added component, though, of like the more meaningless that context is to that person, the more Like I was listening to this book Nixonland by Rick Perlstein about the Nixon years, and really for the first time hearing the entire history of the Vietnam War, I hadn't gotten how absurd that entire thing was.
Well, absurd is one way to put it.
Right, but the logic, I mean, just how completely and totally meaningless. Like with, the Indochina thing with the France and then the South Vietnamese government, all that. And what it creates is this condition where soldiers are just going into, they can't find any meaning in what they're doing. And that has to compound or amplify the trauma, right?
It would. I mean, if you're fighting for a cause that you believe in, and for a good reason, you're less likely to be traumatized. Now, it still happens in every war, and PTSD is what they call shell shock in the First World War. And when they first treated it, their only concern was to get people back into battle.
Oh, wow.
There's some interesting stories around that. And but meaning has a lot to do with it. And the Vietnam War was most people who went to fight there. Oh my God. Turner Classic Channels, Turner Classic Movies, that TV channel?
Yeah, TCM.
He used to have a series right now on war movies because of Memorial Day. I just got it today. And last night they played The Green Beret starring John Wayne. And it was an incredible movie. I mean, that's one of those gotta-see movies because it was worse propaganda than I've ever seen the communists spew out in Hungary or Russia. It had this war skeptic American correspondent going to meet these American soldiers who are all brave and resolute and dedicated and sacrificing and long suffering, fighting against these Vietnamese enemies who are in a jungle, in a palace, gambling, playing cards, and being utterly cruel. Like all these Vietnamese had these palaces in the jungle, you see. But of course, the actual soldiers who went there to Vietnam, they so quickly found out the lies that they'd been fed and the cruelty of what they were made to do and the utter brutality of their means and the utter lack of purpose of what they were doing. The PTSD rate would have been higher there for that reason, for sure.
Yeah. Jean, in the comments, and by the way, everyone feel free to leave a comment. Jean says, a friend who went over to Afghanistan kept saying over and over, there was no reason to be there.